on his bed with his gun in his hand. He thinks his life is over, he can't understand. A bottle of whiskey and some pills in the drawer. He doesn't want to hurt himself or hurt anymore. Why must it be this way? Just think it all over and listen to the words I say. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, brother, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. She picks up the clothes that fall loose on the floor. She finds a crumpled letter just behind the door. Begins to read it with tears in her eyes. A horrible feeling takes over inside. Says, honey, can I talk to you? There has to be something that we can do. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, baby, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. Ooh, you're not alone. 'Cause you are not alone. There are millions of people who fight with their demons each day. Yeah. And you are not alone. So take my hand, son, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He puts it away, 'cause now he understands. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rev Nation from the United States of Texas. We welcome you to another episode of Rev Nation. We may not be your favorite people on the planet, but we really don't care.
Speaking the truth.
Or maybe we do, and we just don't want you to know about it.
True.
We're glad you're here with us on Friday, where we do this every Friday night at was it 1900 Central Time or 7 Central? What time is it there? What time is it there? 8?
8.
Nobody likes you guys. Nobody likes you guys anyway.
I don't know. Always up later. What up, Dean?
Anyway. Dean, what's up, Kenneth? What's going on?
I love our governor. Yep, I do too. I'm a fan. Give that man some gumbo.
And yes, he did pawn his beard in Vegas. How much did you get for your beard out there?
Not Vegas, Reno.
How much did you pawn? How much you get for it?
50 cents, 35, something.
Man, I'd have given you $1.
Why weren't you there?
I had to do this stuff.
I couldn't help it, man. I couldn't help it. I had this thing with the herbalophylofenades with the gynecoperhophilides.
That.
Yeah. So I had to take 1,000 milligrams of moxiflopin to get rid of it.
Is that one of those Navy meds?
Well, it's better than Medixadrupin because that stuff's just really bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good.
So anyway, so what I'd like to tell you is that we are here by the grace of VRS, and VRS, thank you for having us. So if you're here, you're checking us out, make sure you go over to VRS and say thank you, like, love, share. I don't know, whatever it is you do in your weird space that you're on alone time at home with VRS. Anyway, we're really glad that you're here. Also, please check out some of the cool swag at the Hero Program. The regular guy, he's off. I'm pretty sure he's burning marshmallows in the back of a tub somewhere. I don't know.
I can think of worse things to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did shave, and it's not necessarily like that's going to be the topic of the night. It's going to be.
I think it is. It's going to be the.
Oh my God! Shannon's epic goatee is. Yeah, Shannon's epic goatee is gone. It's gone. It's gone. Don't worry, folks. It'll be back. I promise you. I just needed to let some. I really actually had some so you and I were talking yesterday about and I've got it happening today. You can see the dry skin on my hands.
Yep.
From wearing Nomex tack gloves and all that stuff.
Yep.
For 9 months or whatever. But they're like, well, we don't really know what it is. We've done a KOH and all this other stuff, and they think that it's just kind of some weird blah blah blah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. They're like, well, it's not necessarily a fungus, but it could be a fungus, but it's not a fungus. So I'm thinking that it's probably something more along the lines of dermatitis. And I'm like, that's a real fancy way of saying my skin's just irritated.
Yeah. I tell you, man, ever since that, I had one trip in Afghanistan and had 3 days worth of antibiotics shot into me by 3 different medics because they didn't know what the hell it was.
That's what he said he had shot into.
Exactly. Anyway,
we're not going to talk about that.
No. But I tell you, those skin conditions after coming back, a lot of folks just ignore them, but you can't.
Well, I've seen people get contact psoriasis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. Hey man, you ever had psoriasis before? No. Well, that's pretty much what that looks like. And I don't like diagnosing derm. I hate derm.
Yeah.
Derm's hard because it's the biggest organ on the body. And it's hard to
it's affected by so many different
it's the human shield, man. It's literally a human shield. So
yep. But anyway, enough about skin stuff. I know regular guy and Amanda wanted to give everybody a shout out. They're spending some quality time with the fam and doing some good work out there. So
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure regular guys, like I said, I'm pretty sure he's burning marshmallows in the back of a tub or a truck or something.
Yeah.
Something weird.
Yeah, but, you're right. JP5, JP8, any of that gas, all the hydrazine from planes, even if you're not directly exposed to it, there's still secondary causes of that stuff.
Yeah, no joke. That's a fact. That's a fact. So let's talk about the song that we started the show with.
Not Alone. You know the guy that wrote it?
Do it. I think so.
Probably on the tip.
So.
Mr. Shannon book.
No, so I did write that song. Well, I think that song wrote me.
True.
But, I wanted to put that on here tonight. I think they told us school there's somewhere around,
2,500 skin conditions. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sure. But so that song woke me up at about 4:00 in the morning. I was hungover. Just gotten back off the road from a nice little tour, and like something said, get up and write these words, and the words wouldn't stop running through my head. And I was like, I can't with you, man. Just let me go. Leave me alone. I'll go back to sleep, man. No, it was not having it. And so I woke up and started writing it down and putting it to guitar, and like that song was born in like 30 minutes. And then like I released it in 2018. Thanks, Kenneth. I appreciate it, man. I really do. So we might play that for you here in a little bit. I don't know. I think we're just gonna play Not Alone tonight because there's a theme. There's a theme. What's up, Aaron? What's going on, big man? Of course you have a growth that you need looked at. What does it say all the time, Jared? I think I've probably touched more penis than most strippers in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, or hookers in Austin, Texas.
That's a Navy dog.
That's pretty much what Aaron's trying to get me to do right now. He's trying to get me to touch his pee-pee.
So are y'all trying to relive some of your Navy days? Is that what it is?
He's a Marine. Don't even go there. I'm not like I'm only a sailor by association. Don't be stupid.
I got you. So what you're saying is a Marine wants you to play with his thing.
Well, of course.
Okay. All right. I've worked with a bunch of Marines, but I've never been a Marine, but
and then this is my soldier buddy. He's I can't with you.
Navy.
Oh, you're talking about the song. Is that what you're talking about, Jimmy? Is that what you're talking about? The song? Navy infantry. Just stop. You're being silly. Look, I told you this is about to get stupid. And you know what I did? I shared what we're going to start talking about. I was like, all right, so we're going to, and you know how I kind of say something stupid on my pages, and so I said, hey, come hang out with us and watch us roll each other's belly lint. And guess what I got? I got a bunch of soldiers and Marines in here who wanted to watch us roll each other's belly lint. That's what's happening right now.
That's awesome.
It's creepy.
That's good times. So we're going to talk about a few good things tonight.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to let you start it. Actually, let me tell you about Not Alone real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
So since I wrote that song and released it in 2018, I have pledged every dollar of that to go to an organization of my choosing. I can't with you, brother. This is going to be one of those shows where I'm not going to get anything done because everybody's just going to be bashing on Shannon, which is perfectly fine.
That's good times. That shows love out there.
It does. But that song is literally put out there to A, help people understand they don't have to fight their demons alone, and B, everything that it makes, I literally give to an organization of my choosing for the month. I didn't put it out there this month, and I should have. The month of July, I'm going to put it on Bobby Henline's new organization called Forging Forward. So everything that it makes in the month of July, it's going to go toward Forging Forward. If you're interested in checking out Bobby Henline's nonprofit, it's called Forging Forward. Go check it out, man. I promise you will not be disappointed. Bobby Henline's a super huge inspiration, and I'm a super huge fan of that dude. No, Dean, I will not be donating to strip clubs. I've done that plenty of times. I gave up on that probably at around age 30. Not that I'm old, because I might be old.
going to drop the.
He is freaking hilarious, and he's a great dude. So now, Mr. J Red.
J Red, yes.
Why don't you tell us about what you want?
All right. So
to talk about first.
The first thing I want to talk about is
puberty.
Well, we've all been there, done that. Well, some of us have.
Well,
let me drop this in there. First thing we're going to talk about tonight is the ATF has a comment window that is open right now.
No, you spelled it wrong.
AFT. If you
AFT,
it depends on who you're talking about. So I put the link.
If you're part of the if you're a part of the Biden Nation, it's AFT.
Exactly. I'm actually gonna pull that up on the screen.
Don't mind me. I'm eating my sausage over here.
Share that.
I know I'm eating on the radio and on like live or whatever. Oh yeah, well done, well done. I think I may or may not have mentioned you doing that earlier.
Yes. Okay. So this is kind of what we're going to be talking about for a little bit. And it's just to show you kind of what's going on out there straight from the horse's mouth. And I kind of wanted to also explain what happens when you do put a public comment in. It needs to be the right comment.
I did.
Don't copy and paste a bunch of stuff. But so start off June 7th, Attorney General said the ATF, they proposed factoring criteria for firearms with attached stabilizing braces.
Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? What does that mean, Mr. Jared?
All right. So long time ago, people started manufacturing these pistol stabilizing braces for AR-15s, and the ATF, approved them. It all started out as being able for disabled folks to be able to use them.
So wait a minute. You mean those aren't rifles?
No, they are considered pistols.
I know this. I'm playing the devil's advocate for all those people out there who don't.
Yeah. So
what makes it a brace? What makes it a brace and a pistol?
It's complicated, honestly. It depends who you buy it from and what they've marketed it as.
Right.
And that's part of the problem is it started off with a simple blade that was attached to a brace. It really wasn't movable. It wasn't really designed to put on your shoulder.
Strapped over your forearm.
Strapped over your forearm so you could hold it with one hand.
It straight. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, since they started doing that, they've adjusted the technical criteria for all those items. If somebody wants to manufacture something different within the firearms industry, they have to actually submit that, or they're supposed to submit that to the ATF to get approval first.
Since you said that, I want to bring up something really, really interesting.
Go for it.
I.e., Texas-made suppressors.
Oh, that's going to be a hot button for a bunch of folks.
We probably should talk about that in a little bit. Not that I'm not that I'm opposed to it. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Before we go down that wormhole.
Let's finish this.
Let's finish what we were talking about. But I wanted to put a pin in that.
Gotcha. The one thing I want people to know is all these public comment periods that they have open, they actually do read them. However, there's a lot of bots out there that'll flood the federal government with automated messages, whether it be from a left-wing organization or a right-wing organization.
Right.
So if you follow a lot of these, social media comments like, hey, cut and paste this and send this to them. If they get 1,000 of those copy and paste, they're not going to consider those. It has to be an individual comment. Exactly. I can't remember what comment period they had recently. It wasn't the ATF, but out of I think 7 million responses, there was only a couple 100,000 that were authenticated because of the amount of bots that were out there doing that stuff.
I feel like we're going to have to send you to reform school because you're not saying it right.
What am I not saying right?
ATF. You're supposed to say
AFT.
Aft. Like,
see, I've worked on aircraft too long to make that big of a mistake.
Yeah. No, like that's the bow, that's forward and that's aft.
Yeah,
but that's starboard and that's port. Right.
Imagine what the AFT would do. I hear you. Here's the thing, though. The comment doesn't have to be in depth, or you just need to make an educated comment on there. Even if you say, "Hey, I really wish the ATF would stop infringing upon our Second Amendment rights." Right. They will consider that statement more than they would if you went on a 2-page diatribe of how ignorant they are that you copy and pasted from your buddy.
Right. No, absolutely.
But get your comments in there. Anytime you see comments being
open for them,
they're open for them for public comment. Yep, exactly. Tell them that. Tell them your rights are protected. That's what those platforms are for. But if you just sit on your Facebook and share, "Hey, I'm mad and I want people not to take my guns," well, no, use the forums that are there, because ultimately they have to be read and presented to somebody.
Listen, there's a lot of people that sit on their Facebook. See what I did there? That was sorry.
Sit on the book of the face.
The face. They sit on faces of the book. Wait, that was what? Oh, wait, that's horrible.
So the Texas-made suppressors. I think a lot of there's going to be some folks that might disagree with me on this, but it's going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of folks.
I agree with you, Kenneth.
Yep, absolutely. Now, see, here's the thing. I don't think you're going to see many licensed manufacturers of firearms touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Well, there already have been.
It's opening them up for a lot of problems, though. And none of the states have really truly supported any type of that legislation yet.
Well,
I hope they do. Wrong. I want them to do it.
You're not wrong. And what I know that you're going to say is that it's still a federal mandation or a federal law.
Yeah.
And it's all governed by federal law. But what I think that it puts it in place for is secession.
The next step.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I'm a huge fan of if it's necessity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, I'll say this. I don't ever want to have to pull a trigger on another human being again.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't ever want to have to do that. I don't ever want to have to fight physically ever again.
I don't even want to mentally fight.
Well, dude, trust me, I've been.
No, we still got to.
No, I totally agree with you. But like, like I'm almost 50 years old. I really could care less about like getting in a bar brawl or any of that shit. Like, I just want to walk out in my backyard and go, man, it's a pretty day. Yada, yada, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And go, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want to pull a trigger on a human being again. However, that being said, if you think that I won't, you're wrong. But I don't, again, let me make this very, very, very clear. I don't ever want to have to do that again.
Absolutely.
I don't ever want to have to do that again. But if I have to, I will, and I won't lose a wink of sleep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just who we are. I
think Joe Rogan said something the other day on the podcast, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind. He's like, dude, he's like, there's like 1.5 million veterans on the planet. He goes, I don't think you understand. You don't necessarily want to mess with these people. Like, those are the people who've actually seen violence and live in violence, and they don't necessarily want to do it again, but don't push them. Like, that's not a good place for the world to be. Like, well, and that goes for any veteran, and that's across the globe.
I think that's why we set our militaries up like we have. Think about the oath that we take.
Yeah.
it doesn't end when you get out.
No.
Like, it's an oath that you've lived most of your life. It doesn't just like,
what?
Okay, I'm done. No, you come out in the real world, you're like, now I got to protect this on a much bigger level. I have to get involved in politics. I was the tool of politics before. Now I actually know what the hell's going on, and now I can do something about it.
That's another funny thing that you say, that I was the tool of politics. And you know what's funny is that most people don't realize that when we're in there, like, yeah, we can go vote as long as we're in the states.
Yeah.
You know, and our absentee ballots actually get counted. But how hard is it for you to get an absentee ballot when you're on deployment? And all of like we're, man, I can't believe we're about to segue into some stuff we didn't even talk about today. But
well, that's good.
No, I agree, because I think we were just talking about being open and just kind of enjoying the show and hanging out and having a good time. What does Dean say? We stick ourselves, we stick to ourselves because we have seen how effed up the world is, and we don't want to be violent anymore. You're absolutely right, Dean. Like, I don't know. Listen, I can't speak for every veteran in this room or every veteran on Facebook, but I know what I've done. Like, you know, I can't speak for what Dean's done in the Navy, but I know what I've done in the Navy. And, you know, sometimes you just got to kick in the door, and sometimes you just got to shoot a large caliber, you know, machine gun, or sometimes you just got to spray and pray. And sometimes shit happens. So, you know, it's yes, you're absolutely right, Keith. We all stand together. So, but at the end of the day, I agree with you. Like, nobody wants to fight. Nobody really wants. We just want to kind of hang out, do stupid shit, go fish, maybe shoot some guns. And
me and you had a good conversation last night. We're kind of talking about the plan for today with kind of the situation I was dealing with, where I'm questioning a situation that I'm going through because I'm trying to be who I used to be.
You're trying to be a service member.
I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm going to do what I can for everybody else and not.
You're trying to be a service member. And here's the other side of that coin. So people don't, and this is where I was going to, and thank you for bringing me back to center. Because sometimes I have this thing where I'm like,
it's all good.
Yeah. So when we're active duty, and we're under contract, like, we have the ability to vote, but there's so much less we can do as service members. We don't get to, like, you don't get to sell your opinion. You don't get, like, you can go vote, keep your mouth shut, nobody cares.
I really can't remember many conversations about politics.
You never had them. You know why? No. Because you were part of the politics.
Yeah. It was, you were advancing that agenda.
It doesn't matter. It didn't matter, because at the end of the day, it does not matter in the military. Whether you are a Democrat or you're a freaking Republic, it doesn't matter. You're going to do exactly what your commander-in-chief tells you to do.
Yep.
Period. Hey, Michelle, what's up? Going on? What's going on?
Howdy.
Where that man is, man. What everybody's doing out there. Anyway, so but that's the reality. Like, nobody in the military does and if you do get into politics, at that point you can tell. There are those people in the military that speak openly about their politics, and most people just kind of go, okay.
Kenneth Booth, right there for the win. We were there to preserve, not practice.
Facts, brother.
Yep. And I hope that's what the current members are still doing. I really do.
Well, I mean, I would like to say that they are. However, you have some EO conformist that is, I personally feel like I need to always be in train up mode. Yeah. I don't want to be, but reality is if I'm not doing something every day, I'm ignoring that oath. Even out of service, I don't want this fight, but if they bring it, I'll welcome it. Absolutely, brother. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. And you know what's, man, That's exactly. I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of us feel.
Yeah. Nobody wants to fight anymore. We would all. No. I honestly believe everybody, for the most part, if we just could come to some form of agreement where everybody just left each other alone and respected each other, everything would stop.
I honestly couldn't see this be put down in words better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I'm not in constant train up mode.
Well, think about it, in some ways you probably are in terms of how you prep.
Mentally, yes.
Yeah.
Mentally, absolutely.
But that's the hardest part.
Stops. That never stops.
The hardest part, though.
Right.
So you've done the hard work.
But the physicality of it, the physicality, if I had to run from here to, I don't know, say QT, which is probably less than a mile away, I'd be like, I'm only running there because I can get a soft serve ice cream, and then I'm probably gonna have to stalk 5 times.
I always could never understand, why do we have to run so much? Like we got radios, we got planes, we got vehicles, we got lots of explosives. Like, well, if I've got to run, something really, really bad has happened. Like, we shouldn't have to run this boat.
I'm going to say this because God bless you and God bless the Air Force. But some of us have to carry what we live in on our backs.
Trust me, I understand, my friend.
So
cardio.
Listen, Dean, I think your freaking method of cardio is probably climbing the ladder well in like the forward ladder well under the O3 level, maybe. I'm waiting for a response. That's probably going to be. He's probably going to flip me the bird, I'm guessing.
That's going to be interesting.
It's not happening. He's not going to do it. He's just sitting back chilling. All right. Well, anyway, but the long story short, like, none of us want that fight.
No, not at all.
None of us want that fight. And then, if and I thought it was hilarious. Or running all over the flight deck. Oh yeah, well that's true. That's right. I keep forgetting you were like an AB something words.
Was he air-powered ground on aviation? Oh.
He was on a flight deck.
The APG or something?
I don't know. But I know that those guys don't get a lot of time. He's probably a red shirt or a purple shirt or a green shirt. It wasn't a green shirt. It wasn't.
I think I showed you that meme earlier. That boat, like, carrier was like twisted sideways, and he's like, "Because we've been doing shit at 18 that you ain't done at 40, son."
Facts. That's a fact. I think that picture was an LHA or something. LHD.
Gotcha.
But I mean, the difference between an LHA and LHD and a carrier, it's probably about 2,000 people. Carrier's probably got about 2,000 more people on it.
But see, you're talking to an Air Force guy, man. Like, it's
blue, yellow, green, and white. What?
It was a boat to me.
Of course.
It's just like everybody looks at the Air Force guy and said, what plane did you fly? Like, dude,
I don't ever say that. I don't ever say that.
Well, you're actually a little bit more educated than most.
Right.
Than civilians, anyway.
I mean, you can say that if you want. I don't necessarily agree.
Well, every once in a while, you got some good stuff that comes out of your mouth. Kind of like how the sun shines on a dog's butt every once in a while.
Sometimes the sun shines on a dog ass.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Recon will attest to that.
Well, yeah. Recon's a sweet puppy. She's asleep again, man. You wear her ass out today or something?
I did. Young lady.
She's like, kiss my ass, Dad.
You doing
What's up, puppy? What's up, sweetie?
You're a pretty girl. Yeah, we had to go publican today.
You guys had to go courting and publican.
Yep.
Right on.
So, have a good day then.
So the first thing we started talking about was
the ATF policy
the
aft policy changes.
Let's
follow up on that dude, Dave Chipman or Chap, whatever. Hold on a second. I'll post.
That's what I was gonna say. You wanted to talk about that. I kind of threw that in there just because I knew you wanted to talk about Mr. Chapman, who may or may not be the most ridiculous choice Well, to be honest with you, he's not a ridiculous choice for the agenda. He's not.
Oh,
he's
absolutely. He is a prime example.
He's a prime candidate.
Absolutely.
Like he literally is.
Yep. And that's
oh, Carl's passed out. Oh, he had surgery. That sucks. There you go.
Okay, so he made it out of judiciary, a party line vote. We still have options of getting it stopped when he's in the Senate. But so who is this guy? Who is, what's his name? David Chipman, right?
Yep.
And he has been a Second Amendment advocate with the Giffords, which is a leading gun violence prevention group. Let me see. Cruz did a good job talking about it.
I think you should play. I literally think you should play the Cruz video. Like,
I don't know if I can find that one.
It should be right in freaking middle of YouTube. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw it on YouTube earlier today.
Let me see if I can find it.
But so yeah, Cruz blew him up, man. So David Chipman is. So the last time you heard anything about David Chipman was Waco.
Yeah, he was sent there for the post investigation.
He was the post investigator.
Yeah.
For the David Koresh form. Yeah. And that was probably, I don't even know, like that. I'm pretty sure that I can't remember. There was something necessary, like not necessarily or necessarily sideways about his investigation. I don't remember exactly.
Nah. He hasn't. I don't really think he's done much.
He did, Kenneth. Ted totally gave him a total Riemann.
Yeah, the video I found is like 7 minutes long. I don't want to dig through that.
No, just play a few seconds of that. Like you don't have to. Like, come on. Like we literally should show the world. I'm game. He was the cleanup crew to cover up. Exactly. That's exactly what he was, Dean.
There's some memes out there showing him standing in front of it, and they claim that he was the cause of it. That's not true.
Well, no, he wasn't. Like, so he wasn't the cause of. You talking about the cause of the
actual Waco? Yeah.
No, that wasn't.
He came after.
Yeah, no, he was totally the dude after the fact.
All right, I'm gonna mute and we'll try to get this playing.
Yeah. Play that beautiful bean.
Ago, Senator Whitehouse asked you if any of your views on guns are out of step with the majority of the American people. The AR-15 is one of, if not the most popular rifle in America. It's not a machine gun; it's a rifle. Your public position is that you want to ban AR-15s. Is that correct?
Senator, thank you for the question, and thank you for our visit yesterday and offering me a Dr. Pepper. It made me reminisce about my time in Central Texas. But now to your question. With respect to the AR-15, I support a ban as has been presented in a Senate bill and supported by the President. The AR-15 is a gun I was issued on ATF's SWAT team.
I don't think it's going to work.
It's a particularly lethal.
Just scrap it.
And regulating it as other particularly lethal.
Dean says it's good now.
I have advocated for as ATF director, if I'm confirmed, I would simply enforce the laws and the books. And right now, there is no such ban on those guns.
So you want to ban the most popular rifle in America? Mr. Chipman, a minute ago, Senator Whitehouse asked you if any of your views on guns are out of step with the majority of the American people. The AR-15 is one of, if not the most popular rifle in America. It's not a machine gun; it's a rifle. Your public position is that you want to ban AR-15s. Is that correct?
Senator, thank you for the question. And
let's just drop this. because we can have a better conversation. Like you can look at that dude and tell that he's just a tool. So let's just quit that whole conversation because. So that dude right there is literally he's another yes man. Thank you, like Senator Cruz for the Dr. Pepper. I appreciate you. Thank you for thinking of me. Okay, like that dude is a total yes man, and if you don't realize that dude is a total yes man, you are stupid. And I'm not gonna be nice about it. You're just stupid.
Yeah, that's ignorance. If you can't see through that, then I don't know what you can see.
That dude was picked because he's going to do whatever he's told.
Yes, absolutely. And see, that's how the AFT work. They rule by these opinion papers, or they try to anyway. Thanks for the Dr. Pepper.
Like that's literally how he started that whole statement. Like he burned up 3 seconds of the Congress floor. Thank you, Senator Ted Cruz. Thank you for the Dr. Pepper. I appreciate you thinking about me, sir. Like, get bent, fool. Get to the question.
Exactly.
Like, stop deflecting and tell me, hey, so what you're saying is you're literally going to try to ban AR-15s. It's one of the most popular hunting rifles on the planet.
But see, Chipman's trying to kiss Cruz's butt and convince him that no,
he's not kissing his ass.
I'm just going to enforce the laws that are there, sir.
Right. Well, so that wasn't the video I was talking about, but it doesn't matter. We don't need to go to that. Yeah. So, but today, I saw a release of a video of Ted Cruz just kind of, I think it was probably in summation of the whole week of that garbage. And Ted Cruz was just like, look, I'm going to tell you all right now. Like, this dude is a tool. And most of us are not okay with this guy. And we won't be, and nobody cares. Like, screw you guys. This guy's a piece of tool, and we don't need him around. And he literally just said that on the freaking floor. Like, he's like, there's no way. He's like, you're a juice box.
Ignorance.
So it was pretty impressive. But again, that's how this happens. Like, if you want to know, it's kind of like, it's funny. I never really thought of this like this before, but what's funny about like muscle and how the body works and how the mind works, and so if you don't use it, it atrophies.
Gets weak.
Yeah, it atrophies. So what they're doing there is they're literally putting someone in place to where they can just allow things to crumble. That's what that is.
Sad.
That's exactly what that is.
It's going to throw things into a state of decay and just overarching control that is just we've never seen before.
Well, that's what all this is. This is,
Yeah.
And I was saying,
see, this guy has been with the ATF for 25 years. Okay. So, I mean, just think of something a little bit logically in terms of what we liked about our government over the past 25 years. I haven't heard much good about the control of firearms in the last 25 years. I think they even lost a bunch in a big over border operation like Fast and Furious or something.
Was that a movie or was that real?
No, it was real. Yeah. They were literally letting guns travel across country lines. Now,
right. Well, listen, I don't know if you know this or not, but CIA does that shit all the time.
Oh, it's definitely possible.
That's it's just. Oh no, yeah, we'll pay you in whatever you want. We're just gonna make sure we get our information.
But now you hear about, I mean, it's just the hot button. You take a left-wing organization, if they can get one little thing about like ghost guns. Okay, well, now ghost guns have to be banned in all these states. Well, how many crimes have really been accomplished with these ghost guns?
But somebody explained to me what a fucking ghost gun is. Like just because it was printed, just because it was printed,
it's a gun made by yourself. It doesn't have to be. So what's going on is a lot of companies have created these 80% lowers,
right?
Where you can come home with a little jig and your drill press, and you can finish them up. And it's
right.
You've never transferred a weapon from a dealer to yourself. You've built it yourself. Now the law states that that's completely legal. And if you ever want to sell it, you now have to, get a serial number put on that and follow those rules.
I mean, do you? Because you can gift a gun, right?
Yeah. Well,
you can gift a gun, and it doesn't have to be
federal rules.
I get it, but you can gift a gun.
Yeah.
You can gift a gun, and it doesn't have to be registered. Like it doesn't have to be
no registration per se, other than you manufacture it. Has to be manufactured for yourself. I'm not.
No,
sure
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like just because, like, so they're like the law was. This is so
the laws are messed.
Well, it's not even that. So the reality is that the cities and the states will tell you that you have to go into the police office and you have to register firearms.
Not all of them.
You don't have to register. You won't have to register any of them.
No, not at all. Well,
if it's a gift, no.
Yeah, correct. If it's
a gift, you don't have to register any of them.
Yeah.
You don't have to register any of them. The reality is, at the end of the day, here's the bigger problem. Let's just say this: the biggest problem, and I'll get to you. I promise you. We'll get to reading some of these stuff here in a few minutes. Here's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that law-abiding citizens like us we're not going to do the stupid stuff.
We're not the problem. Absolutely
we're not. The people who are getting these guns, the people that are causing the problems are getting guns from the black market, or they're stealing from our houses, people like us.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, it's not that. They're stealing whole truckloads of weapons.
That's what I'm saying. That's the black market. That's what the black market is. People don't understand what the black market is. People steal weapons from said factories, said companies, said organizations in transit. Like this is a huge business.
Oh, huge.
And then they sell it to mafioso, gang, blah, 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 blah.
Whoever can pay.
Whoever can afford what the price is, which could literally be pretty much anything, because they're free guns, right?
Yep.
Because and they weren't intended to be free guns. They were all serialized and all that stuff out of the factory. Yada yada yada. Like none of that matters. Whether it's a ghost gun or it's got a freaking FFL serial number on it, none of that matters.
Not really.
At the end of the day, if you want a gun and you want to kill somebody, it's too easy to do that because freaking criminals don't give a shit about law.
Absolutely. The law only restrict law-abiding citizens.
Right.
And that's what I think the populace of the world, because of the media perception, when they show you something like, oh, this guy did this with this gun. Okay, well, he also stole that gun, stole the ammo, should have been in prison, there was 10 steps that they're not paying attention to.
Right.
They're like, we already had 10 laws in place to keep this guy from doing that. He still did it.
But we're going to blame an inanimate object. That's what we're doing.
Well, isn't that
blaming,
how,
it's like me
make people chubby?
It's like me saying that this torch right here set my house on fire. But if I set it down right here by itself, it can't do anything by itself.
Well, I don't know, man. You never know when Transformers.
Not dancing. I mean, if it starts dancing, I'm probably going to get the fuck out of my room.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like,
if it starts dancing, I'm leaving.
Absolutely. I mean, can you imagine be sitting in the kitchen, your toaster starts talking to
you? No.
Exactly.
No, I can't. And
but yeah,
if my fidget spinner starts doing this on its own, like it doesn't do this by itself.
No.
Like I literally had to do that. I mean, if it starts doing that on its own, I'm going to be concerned.
Yeah.
But this fidget spinner isn't going to kill anybody unless some human being stuffs it down somebody's throat.
Very accurate.
So, like, but we're going to add more freaking restrictions to law-abiding gun citizens.
Because that's what these organizations are. They're reactionary. It's just like every other response you've seen a government go through. Or
I'm gonna make one
entity.
statement. I am a reactionary individual. So respond in kind.
Does
that make sense?
A little bit. If you do this, then I'm going to do this.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily tell you exactly what I'm going to do.
No, absolutely not. But I had a conversation with somebody like that recently. I asked.
Well, let's save that. Let's save that for after the break. We're coming up on the.
Are we close to time?
Yeah. We're coming up on the mid break. But I want to say this. So, I want. Do you still have
Rev? Oh, hey, CJ Thomas. Rev Nation's a bunch of
Hey, what's up, CJ?
Any criticism of their page? Okay. I haven't ever blocked anybody.
You're awful pretty sweet, huh? What's going on with you, CJ? Let's talk about that later. We're gonna take about a 5-minute break, but first, maybe we should throw him into the candidacy for the whole dumbass of the week. I don't know. But I think you should play that video that we were looking at earlier. Yeah.
Oh, are we gonna talk about?
No, we're just gonna play the dumbass of the week. We're not gonna do a trivia. We're not gonna do trivia this week. But
all right, let me get this set up here.
Yeah. We're not unblock you for what, dude? What do you? I don't even know who you are, and I don't know what's going on. And when you come in and make comments like that, I really could care less about unblocking you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
we're here to discuss.
You want to have an adult conversation? Have an adult conversation.
All right, here we go.
This is the dumbass of the week.
Evolved into a creepy, whispering voice when asked about COVID relief spending. Honestly, you can't make this stuff up. This actually happened. Yep, this is the President of the United States of America. You decide.
And for anybody who wants to make noise and cause problems for anybody, I made this decision.
This is an employees bargaining chip now. What's happening? I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential for childcare. The bill on the environment. Why would I not be for it?
I got nothing.
You can pause it now because, like, I just want to, just close that. Ladies and gentlemen, there is your dumbass of the week.
I got nothing.
President Biden.
You ever heard the comment? You know, it's best to keep your mouth shut and let everybody believe that you're a fool, than open it and remove all doubt.
That was Abraham Lincoln.
Was it?
I think it was Abraham Lincoln.
I'm not good at remembering those types of things, but
I could be wrong. But yeah, no, I'll solidify that after the break. But right now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you about the most American woman's bead launched place where you can find her stuff. Just go to beadpricks.com. And you can find my music anywhere. Right now, what we're getting ready to do is we're getting ready to play Not Alone Again. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Every dime that is made from the purchase, the streams, and or whatever you do with this song, however you get it, however you copy it, however you listen to it, every dime made from this song literally goes to an organization of my choosing for the month every dime goes to that organization. And generally, it's an organization that actively and effectively fights suicide. So the month of July will the money being made for Not Alone will go to Bobby Henline's new nonprofit organization called Forging Forward. So go download, go follow, go listen, go stream, go buy on all of these musical platforms. So thank you guys. And now we're going to take a break and we're going to play Not Alone. We'll see you back after the break.
He sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He thinks his life is over, he can't understand. A bottle of whiskey and some pills in the drawer. He doesn't wanna hurt himself or hurt anymore. Why must it be this way? Just think it all over and listen to the words I say. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, brother, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. She picks up the clothes that fall loose on the floor. She finds a crumpled letter just behind the door. Begins to read it with tears in her eyes. A horrible feeling takes over inside. Says, honey, can I talk to you? There has to be something that we can do. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, baby, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. Ooh, you're not alone. 'Cause you are not alone. There are millions of people who fight with their demons each day. Yeah. And you are not alone. So take my hand, son, let's beat this together today. You are not alone. You're not alone. Not alone. Sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He puts it away, 'cause now he understands.
Good song. Again, I gotta tell you, man.
I know the guy that wrote that song.
So I've got like 600 or 700 songs on my playlist.
Yeah.
And for some reason that plays at least twice a day.
That's I don't even know what to say to that. That makes my heart happy.
Well, it helps.
I'm glad. I mean, that's really all I really want that song to do is help people. I don't.
You know, that's one thing.
I have plenty of songs that I want to have like make money off of. I have plenty of those songs.
Yeah.
That song, I just want that song to help people.
Yep. Well, it's done its job. I think, you know, that's one thing we were talking about is how busy you are with your music, your outreach, all the programs you're involved in. Like, I kind of want people to understand just how busy you are.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people reach out at times and you can't immediately get back to them. And that's tough when you start getting involved with a lot of things where you can't, you know, instantly respond. And that's why you got to have a team around you. And you've got a good team, man. Everybody in here needs to have a team like that. If you can't call, if the one person you think you're counting on can't answer that day, have a second, have a third, have a fourth.
Right. Well, and you know, and I need a bigger team. I really do need a bigger team, but
we all need a bigger team.
Yes, I agree. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. Like that's a reality for all of us, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think people don't understand, like, and it's not success. It's more about popularity. So like the more I was never a popular kid in school. Like I really wasn't. I didn't know.
I mean, I was a nerd, man.
I was too. Like I was a little quiet kid in the corner until, you know, I got tired of getting my ass beat in the freaking bus like fender well, and then I was like, I'm just gonna start pummeling everybody that hits me. You know, and then at that point, like it's like I really wasn't. I mean, I was still a nerd, but I wasn't a nerd.
Yeah, people look up there. You're like,
I'm a nerd, but you can't call me a nerd because kiss my ass.
Yeah, we ain't gonna start picking on this guy anymore. He's actually standing up for himself.
Yeah, right. Really,
I remember the first time.
Joshua,
I remember. Really, you're so pretty.
Joshua, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I'm gonna need
Your head's already big enough, Josh.
It does. It barely fits in this hat, and there's no hair on it.
Jeez,
no hair on the head. But so you know what? I want to like. Is there anybody in here that knows who that CJ dude was?
I do not know.
I feel sorry for that cat.
Yeah, I blocked him.
Right? That's a fact. That's a fact, Dean. Bullies can't stand it when you fight back. Or when they get their
middle school, man. I think I was like maybe 11 or 12. This kid was just picking on me, and it was in the middle of lunchroom. And I'm this little guy. I mean, I was the smallest one. He probably had a good 8 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
And he had punched me in the back, and I went down. And when I got up, I unleashed holy hell.
Yeah.
I grabbed that dude from the back, twisted him around, grabbed him by the throat, and lifted him up on a door. And it took like 3 principals to get me off of him. I wasn't fighting him. I was just stopping him.
Rage is an amazing tool, man.
Oh, it's amazing. But no, it didn't get messed with after that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the far left turd that likes to stir the. Oh, so that's what that dude was? Like, he just wants to come on here and talk trash?
Cool.
No, that's cool. He can. I mean, I wouldn't. Listen, I'll be honest with you.
If you want to have a debate on something, that's fine. But don't just come in here and telling us we're shitty. I don't want to hear that. I get enough.
No, listen, I would love to. Listen, I'm not. So when I'm on stage, like you always get a heckler. There's always one. There's always at least one.
Yeah.
I relish those moments because I like to make people feel as small and microscopic as possible. Like in that moment, and like because like, and I'm not great at it, but I'm not horrible at it either. But I like if you are going to like release all your inhibitions and you're going to make some stupid comments out in public like that, then I'm going to call you out. I'm going to share your face with everybody that I know which are going to be all the people around you. And then we're all going to laugh and talk shit about you because you're stupid.
Peer pressure works in some situations.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work in a negative. Like it doesn't work. Like peer pressure doesn't work in a vacuum.
I think when I was out in Arkansas, Justin Moore was on stage one time, and he's a little guy, real nice dude.
Yeah.
But there was somebody out in the audience that was treating a lady incorrectly.
Yeah.
And he stopped his concert in the middle of it. He's like, "You right there. No, we ain't gonna have this. It ain't gonna happen." And everybody around took care of it. Dude was escorted out. Like, no, we ain't gonna deal with that type of behavior around us. Everybody can be respected.
Right. Well, for sure. Like, and I'll promise you, like, I'll literally come off the stage. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm up there to do a job, but I promise you, I'm not one of those that will allow somebody to get hurt in the middle of a show just because I'm performing. Like, it's not how it works.
Nah, not worth it.
No, the show must go on. Well, the show's going to go on as long as I'm the only one getting hurt. Yeah, because at that point, like, I don't really care. Like, you're not really hurting me.
Yeah.
But it's interesting what Dean said. Most hecklers are just joking around. It's the hecklers that don't know how to heckle and they just attack people. Right. Well, then you're right. Which is generally probably 90% of liberals on the planet.
Yeah, you can't have a conversation with them.
No.
It's like I've tried to ask some folks that are, left-wing liberals to explain things to me, and I can never get them to do it.
Dude, I literally had a conversation with somebody not too long ago. I always bust my balls about being a gay sailor and this and any other, and you're the one that's in the Navy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Right on. So I'm a gay sailor. It's cool. I'm not really like I've got more time in the Marine Corps than you do, but I'm a gay sailor. It's cool.
Yeah. Is this coming from like somebody that is probably services or let's see
no well
gym attendee, or were they even military?
No, yeah, they were. Yeah, he was a Marine. He was a reservist, but like, and he's a good Marine. He's a good guy, but it was just it was a panic button, and I got a little too close to him, and I got him really good on a gay joke, and like, I don't care if you're gay or not. Like, I don't really care. Like, none of that bothers me. Like, no. I'm gonna love you because you're a human being.
Yeah.
And if you're a shitbag, you're a shitbag. Like, it's just that simple.
Oh, dude, when I was a weapons loader back in the day, man, we railed on each other.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like he has a constant, like, and I just kind of go, oh, and he's so much just called me a cross-dresser, whatever.
Do you wear heels?
No, but I do wear a uniform outside of my uniform. That's why he calls me a cross-dresser. But the connotation of itself is cross-dresser connected with
gotcha.
Gay Navy, cross-dresser, blah, blah, whatever. I don't really care. None of that bothers me. What bothers me is that when it came back the other direction, it was like, you can't, you're going to tell everybody, blah, 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 blah.
So this is not a good
and
thing.
Then like you can't dish what you're putting out into the world. Well, you know what? Then don't put it out into the fucking world.
I had a dude do that to me one time. Or we were talking about it was just back and forth, and I told one of the it was like the bag of door jokes.
Did you just say a bag of door handles?
Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
But this dude, like, just going back and forth, and I said something. It was like a fat mom joke, but it was about his wife.
The goat went away,
and the dude just changed. Like, flip the switch. You will not talk about my wife like that. Well, come to find out, his wife cheated on him or something. So he was like way up here. But I'm like, he's talking shit about moms, girls, sisters. Nothing was off limits. But you say something about his wife and flip the switch. I'm like, okay, we ain't gonna play that game, homeboy.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I'm at. Like, hey, listen, like you can talk shit all you want about me. The very moment you don't practice what you preach, I'm going to put your foot in your own mouth for you. I'm going to help you put your foot in your mouth.
Good way to handle it.
I just don't care. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to let you burn if you're on fire.
Yeah.
Like, I'll help you. But having a conversation with you, like, it's like this, like, you know, socialism distancing. Like, here's the deal, man. If we can have a conversation about why this is or isn't okay, then I don't really necessarily dislike you.
Absolutely.
But if the end of the day, oh, look at that. You can see my face. Holy crap. I was just sitting here going, damn, I'm in the dark, and I was watching the gleam off.
You got one of those little pretty ring lights?
I have a ring light.
Wow. You are moving on up in the world, man.
I don't have a choice, man. Content creation is like the driving force of the world. There's unwritten rules. Wives, kids, personal life is always off limit. That's a fact.
Most of the time I'd agree with you. Most of the time. But if the giver goes like on that level, well, then that opens up that level.
I'm going to say this. I don't know how many of you guys actually play video games online with other people, but Call of Duty is a prime example. I know that Jeremy plays Call of Duty because that's how I met Jeremy. Or not Jeremy, Joshua. Why don't I call him? I keep doing that. I do that sometimes. I call him Jeremy. His name's Josh. But when you're on like video platforms, like you hear some really, really, like the other night I was playing, it's probably around like, I don't know, 1:30 at night here, Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
And it was like 1:30 a.m. And some little kid, probably 12 years old, you know, and he's hanging out playing with us big guys, and we're all being somewhat, you know, understandable. Like there was some trash talking, but like, hey kid, you know, go back to your mom's, you know, kitchen and eat a, you know, jelly sandwich or whatever. Nothing stupid. But then there was this dude that comes in and Joshua, tell me if I'm right or wrong. Like there are people that come into those freaking game rooms and they're just toxic people. Like you can't even enjoy playing the game. Like it gets just bad. And you just kind of go, you know what? I don't really want to play in this lobby. I don't want to play in this lobby. I don't play with these guys. And I'm, you know, hey, you know, the one the other night, I literally was like, hey, listen here, kiddo. Like it's probably time for you to go to bed because I'm going to bed. And you're 12, and you really don't need to be hearing about some dude talking about putting something in your bottom.
Yeah. Dude, I haven't played online video games since
Doom.
Yeah, it was back in that day. It was, when you know, Duke Nukem.
Yeah, when you're playing Doom on the LAN.
Yeah, dude, I had a Tandy, or what was I had a Tandy 1000. No, it was, I think it 98. I had my first computer, and
it probably is your damn kids.
Yeah, 98 living in the dorms at Whiteman. It was crazy, man, because no, you know, back then we couldn't afford a whole lot of stuff. So whoever had the 27-inch TV went to that room and watched TV for the evening.
Right. That's where the community porn happened.
Absolutely.
Right.
So there was a couple guys that couldn't afford.
That's a great game, Michelle.
Final Fantasy, yeah. There's a couple guys that couldn't afford their own computers. This guy would be in my room at like 2:00 in the morning, still chatting on chat rooms. He just got so addicted to it, man.
AOL chat.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Merc, or it was before AOL chat.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like the Merc days where you had. It was almost like a DOS screen.
Oh,
you were in these rooms.
Like, you're not joking.
And this dude, like, he loved linking up with heavy women.
No.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know at the time. My buddy had a little Ford Ranger pickup and had that little cab seat behind it.
Yeah, I don't even know. I already know where this is going.
So we're fixed to go camping, and we go pick this girl he had met up online. He had never seen her because this is before video or anything like that. It's just chat. That's it.
She's a big girl, isn't she?
Oh, like the other buddy in the front seat, we pull up. He's like, I'll get in back. And she got in the vehicle, and the vehicle sat sideways. And I was like, okay, all right.
She had to get in the vehicle sideways.
He did that weekly, man. He'd get on those chat rooms and find another woman. It was hilarious.
I don't know if you know this, but the Ford Rangers today are a little bit bigger than they were. Yeah, Ford Rangers back around 98 were pretty small trucks.
Yeah, it was
like you could almost put a Ford Ranger in the back of a large truck.
Oh, absolutely.
It's exactly it exceeded the Ranger's payload.
If you had two guys driving a Ford Ranger and you got stuck, you could literally pick the back end up and move it over.
You're not wrong. Like it's pretty close. Like it's almost legit. Like the heaviest part of the freaking Ford Ranger was the engine for sure.
Yeah. When the
it's like having a Datsun. It's like having a Datsun B2200.
B210. Oh, what is it?
Yeah, B210 or B2200. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
the Datsun B210 or B2200. But yeah. So all right. That being said,
I don't know. Did we want to talk about the? Oh, I remember what we're going to talk about is the mayor. I listened to the
Mayor Adler,
Joe Rogan, man.
Mayor Adler talking to Joe Rogan today. And I love my Ranger, but a 50-pound sandbag exceeded towing.
Absolutely.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So where are we at? I had 3.
Joe Rogan and Mayor Adler.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, Mayor. So I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay, it sounds like he's talking about good stuff. He's talking about homeless programs for veterans and how he started all this up. And I work with homeless veterans all the time, so I kind of know that these programs exist, and I know where they come from.
I've been one once or twice.
Cool. They're good. They're great. The grant per diem programs that the VA offers can put a homeless vet in housing with therapy, treatment, food within 24 hours.
Correct.
Now, this is all stuff that has been mandated by Congress and laws and instituted through the VA.
No. Yeah. You mean their government policies?
Yeah, government.
Because I already know where this is going, and I'm playing the dumb guy again. Remember how I said I was going to do? No, you can't do. Yeah. So their government policies that were made by Congress. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay. So what was Mayor Adler having to say today?
So Mayor Adler was talking about how he created this he tackled the homeless veteran issue in Austin. I'm like, and then he starts explaining the VA HUD-VASH program that provides housing to veterans. I'm like, wow, okay. So, and then he says, we talked to local partners and tried to, get houses for them. I'm like, okay, so you told all the landlords who had, houses who are already connected to the HUD programs,
right,
to use the programs. Like that's how you helped Austin.
So I'm gonna break this down for you real quick.
Yeah.
Not more than probably about 3-4 weeks ago, he put a cease and desist on when Mayor Adler opened up and authorized camping in the open city for homeless. So
wow,
there's literally, so during the whole COVID thing, there was literally like places where you could like homeless camps under overpasses, and pandering and panhandling and all that stuff. But there were like, so when I say that they were like camps, I mean porta-johns, like disabled porta-johns, like the large porta-johns, and then small porta-johns. And there were hand sanitizer stations and hand washing stations, like you get on a deployment.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys usually get more than we do, but like, you know, your guys is usually porcelain, ours is plastic, whatever.
You forget I was on the side of a mountain in a plywood shack, Hoss.
I mean, at least you had plywood, stupid.
Touche.
but yeah. So all of Austin for like 2 years became a homeless camp.
You know, one thing he commented was
and literally probably less than 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, they started putting their foot down. And then now it's going to take a while for them to get all of these people, you know, we made reservations for when we visit you. I'm only assuming that is regular guy talking about coming to visit me in Austin. So does that mean you're going to stay in under the 183 overpass and Breaker? Because I mean, I can get you a discount. I'm pretty sure it's cheap. And there's probably under the bridge, under the bridge. But it's right. I mean, it's okay. I don't know that you can fit under that bridge because that bridge is kind of, there's really no room. But I mean, there's probably enough room for, I guess, AF shitters and air conditions. Marine shitters are a divot in the dirt. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's called the cat hole, fool. That's what it's called. It's called the cat hole.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
They trained y'all for that stuff, though.
Oh, yeah. Listen, one of the best friends you'll ever have is a freaking ammo can.
Agreed. That takes so much stress off your knees.
Or the crate that the ammo comes in.
Oh, even better.
The 50 cal crate. That's the best thing known to man in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, absolutely.
Dig a hole and use your sock.
Oh, yeah. You haven't lived until you've
use your sleeves or your sock.
Yeah. In one of those 150-degree Porta Johns.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
like you could be a championship swimmer, underwater swimmer after a deployment because you have learned to hold your breath for so long in those Porta Johns.
And listen, those guys that take their magazines into a Porta John to do their business, that's a whole
other level.
That's a whole new kind of something twisted. Like, I'm going to go in here and beat my meat for about 3 minutes because it's private. Like, man, that shit box has been cooking under 140 degrees for like the last 3 days. I'm good.
No.
Mm-mm. No.
Oh,
dude.
What's up next?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? I told you we were just going to kind of just enjoy our day. Like, it's
absolutely.
I'm totally chilling, man. We got 30 minutes. What do you want to talk about?
Let's see.
I got an idea. I got a great idea. I think I'm going to invite my dad on here one night. I'm going to invite my dad, who's a magistrate from Kentucky, in London, Kentucky.
I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah, but I would like to talk about your week.
Let's go for it.
Let's talk about the dude, the Vietnam veteran who was running the veteran outreach program. Is that what it's called? The veteran outreach program or whatever?
Oh, are you talking about the whole service dog issue?
Yeah, well, the service dog issue, not just that, but the service dog issue, the mask issue.
Yeah, I got to be careful about what I say on that one.
Oh, it's true.
But so when you have a service dog, let's start there.
Okay.
When you have a service dog, there's a lot of rules and regulations that you got to follow if it's a true service dog, right?
Correct.
And a lot of those rules are dependent on what type of agency it is for, whether it's access versus employment. I
can't with you, Dean. I mean, we were just literally talking about it, and you're not wrong. Like when you hear Porta John going,
stay away. Dude's broke.
Like you should probably not go in there for the next 3 days.
No. So anyway, the service dog stuff, it's really a difficult thing to navigate for a lot of individuals, but in reality, it's not. Each agency or organization has to come up with a set of policies and rules that you go by when you're asking for an ADA accommodation. And
each one of those ADA accommodations are dictated by your need for the dog.
For the most part, exactly.
Like whatever it is. So if it's PTS or anxiety, then the dog has to be able to prepare you for anybody coming up on you, or blah 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 blah.
It can do so many things. So
absolutely. But that's part of how they start creating those mandates and those laws.
Yeah, so there's only a singular requirement for that, and is the dog task trained to mitigate a disability?
Right.
Now that's the difference between an emotional support animal and a service dog, for one.
Right.
And then the second thing is, does it behave in public? Does it not crap anywhere, or is it not aggressive? If you take it somewhere, it's going to bark at everybody, is it going to growl at everybody, is it going to take a leak on the carpet? None of that stuff can be done. And if that does happen, any agency or entity has the right to tell you to leave.
Right.
Now, when you get hired, things change a little bit because they have to validate whether or not you need that for a disability to mitigate.
And people don't understand. Well, HCA, no. At the end of the day, when you get hired onto an organization, they are allowed to validate.
Yes. And here's where the gray area comes up, which in my eyes, we had already preempted, because I got a lot of education before I ever got a service dog. Probably more than most folks. And I sat down with my medical provider, and actually we wrote a letter that was kind of like a prescription for the dog, but it gave specific information of how that dog would help me on a daily basis. And it's got a lot more information than they need, or that any entity really needs, but we wanted to give that information. So it could be, I wouldn't have to
just get ahead of the power curve, obviously.
Ahead of the power curve, exactly.
Right.
I can't put all this shit out
here. We're gonna put all this shit out here so we don't have to argue about it, and you already know all the things that are going on.
And I don't have to reprocess it every damn time.
Right. I don't have to open up all my traumas just to let you know what all my traumas are.
Exactly. So, she's with me during the whole interview process. I start working. They ask for this information. I said, okay, I'm okay with that. But one of the documents they asked me to sign was a release for medical records. Now, if it was just a release for them being able to hold the document that I gave them, it'll be one thing. But the document didn't read like that. So I told them, I said, I'm not comfortable giving you unfettered access to my medical records.
So they wanted access to your whole records?
That's what the form that you sign for release of access to your records is not specific enough. So you're essentially right. I read it and I'm like, wait a second, words matter on this form. If it says I'm disclosing this information, that means you can contact my medical provider and get information from them.
You're talking about the standard medical disclosure form.
Yeah. So I actually sent a message back. I said, look, I went to the HR director. I said, I provided this bit of information before. I believe that's more than enough. And he's like, yep, good to go. Well, then another issue came up about 8 months ago, and it wasn't regarding recon as a service dog, something else, but that got brought into it, and the same guy was like, hey, well, I still need this release signed. And I had just given up at that point. I'm like, whatever. I signed it, gave it to him.
Right.
But then we're trying to process something else about a month ago. And this individual comes up and sits down, and he tells my supervisor, he's like, well, he really doesn't have any concerns. There's nothing really. He doesn't have any legitimate concerns to even talk about this accommodation. And I'm like, wait a second. Is that what my doctor said?
Yep.
And he kind of stumbled a little bit, and I was getting quite upset.
I bet.
I haven't had an anxiety attack like that. I started having an anxiety attack, and I hadn't had one in probably at least a couple years. So I talked to my boss. I'm like, hey, I think I gotta leave. I can't listen to this anymore. And then this is the kicker. Breathe. Yeah, I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And then he made a comment. He's like, about recon. He says, well, we already approved your service dog, and we didn't have to. I'm like, wow. Like,
that's a really crappy way of making that statement.
Yeah. I felt so demeaned, man.
Well, yeah.
And it was like, really? Is this what I got to go through to do the job that I'm doing?
Right.
I didn't know if I was gonna make it through the next couple of days. Like, in terms of when they started going down that path and treating me that way, it felt like I was right back at day one with everything crashing down on me.
Yeah.
And all that could have been prevented if he just hadn't been so rude. Because, I mean, when you're sitting down and talking to somebody about some deep-seated disabilities that you're having a difficult time dealing with, being told that you don't have any legitimate medical concerns and having your service dog hung over your head like, hey, don't screw up, we already approved it.
Right.
It's like, what am I supposed to think? Like, I'm an employee of this organization, and this is how I'm getting treated. Like, I'm asking for help to get through this.
Right.
It was so disappointing.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny that Josh says, back that up. I'm going to back that up. Josh said something about, what did he say? There it is. No, not that one. Oh yeah, no, there you go. He's like, I don't know what you do or where we're getting into, but you don't need an environment like that, and no one does. He's absolutely right. Like, nobody has to suffer through shit like that. And here's the deal. It's almost as if people today feel like they're required to obey a business and or a job. And that goes for you, because I said this to you yesterday when we were talking personally. You know, you don't have you don't have to take things like the freaking junior airman that you learn how to take things like a junior airman. And like, oh, you know what? So yeah, okay, man, that sucks, but I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna eat my ramen, and then I'll be back over here in 10 minutes, and I'll let you kick on me about 10 more minutes. Like, nobody has to do that anymore.
Exactly.
Like, at the end of the day, like, I get it, man. You know, everybody needs to make money. Everybody's got to survive. Everybody's got to live. But what's your quality of life like? What's your quality of life like? And at the end of the day, man, you don't deserve to have to put up with that. Nobody does.
Exactly.
It's like walking into a freaking organization that says, well, you know what? You still have to wear a mask because this is a privately company. I'm not wearing a mask, and I don't necessarily have to work here.
Exactly. And that, that's how I ended the conversation with him. I was like, look, I came in here thinking this was a accommodation meeting where we actually discuss things and work through it.
Right.
But obviously that's not where we're at. So why don't you guys figure something out and let me know? And I left. It's like, and then crickets for a while. And now things are going okay, but it's like, why can't we just handle things in a good fashion?
Well, what's funny is, like, no, I agree. But what's funny is, like, nowadays, like, it's interesting how people handle things. It's like, oh, well, you know what? Like, he survived that. He survived that rock, or he survived that wave. So let's let things calm down for a few minutes, and then let's try to get him comfortable, and then knock him off his game again. Well, like, let it go for a little while, and then, but you see how passive aggressive people can be nowadays. I don't even care anymore. Like, I just want to, like, I'm over passive aggressive bullshit. Like, I really am. Like,
well,
if you don't,
somebody told me that I was passive aggressive a couple months ago because they had done one thing and told me something, and I replied back with like 7 or 8 different questions because the change that they made created unknowns, and in a process driven program.
Well, that's not passive aggressive. That's question and response.
That's what I'm saying. But because I asked so many simple questions about, hey, this changed, what about this? What about that? What about this? It was, well, why didn't you just do it? That's passive aggressive. It's like, really? I'm truly asking for advice. If you're thinking that's passive aggressive, then you need to readjust.
Well, it's kind of hard to dictate whether people are being passive aggressive today or not, right? Because 90% of the people on the planet are being passive aggressive,
pretty much.
And and when I say passive aggressive, when I say like sarcasm is a direct representative of passive aggressiveness. Like, oh no, like it's like earlier when I was going, well, what do you mean? Like, it's a government, it's freaking, created a law, blah 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 blah. Like, that's passive aggressive.
Yep.
And there's a lot of people that do that shit because sarcasm is like the best freaking. It for some reason it's like one of the. I don't know. It's like one of the daily dietary like requirements. Like nowadays, like
we gotta have some sarcasm.
And I love sarcasm. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan, but it has its place and it has its time.
Absolutely,
and for the most
time and a
part,
place for everything.
Right. For the most part, sarcasm is for humor, not for degradation.
Absolutely.
Or self-deprecation.
True. Which we're good at.
Oh, I'm totally good at it. I'm really good at self-deprecation. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man.
Right there. There are indicators that show you what their real belief is about things. If they're willing to give you a hard time about that, it shows where they really lie. You're absolutely correct. You're correct. That's the problem with a lot of government organizations as a whole, even businesses. When people create policies that are counterproductive or not well informed, this is the result. Because this guy probably thinks he is running the policy that this organization had. However, within that policy, there's 10 different ways to interpret that.
Keith, you're passive aggressive. I'm just going to call it right now. Well, and again, like, what we said, and you know what, you're right. You're absolutely right. But what I was saying earlier, Kenneth, is that, sarcasm has its place. And if you're sarcastic and you're being funny 18 hours a day, it's entirely different than being sarcastic and demoralizing or negative. Oh, no, I get it. Like, you're smarter than I am. Like, fuck off. Like, just say, what do you think? Are you smarter? Do you think you're smarter than I am? Like, how about you just confront that shit? Like, I work really hard on doing that, man.
Well, like, okay, if I have a situation here and this is my opinion, you're like, well, no, this is my opinion. Okay, why are our opinions different? Let's talk about it. I'm considering this factor, this factor, this factor, this factor that resulted in my decision. What about you?
I'm going to tell you the honest. If we're having a real serious conversation, I'm going to do my best to not utilize or insert sarcasm.
Absolutely.
Because if I do, it changes the color of the conversation.
Especially if you don't know the individual.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they've been through. I mean, you could say something smart ass and just be a joke and end up destroying their day because of something they went through. So.
Kenneth says, I don't use ass unless I'm asked upon. I'm a super huge fan of yours, Kenneth.
I'm a very big fan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really I try to be the nicest guy in the world every single day.
Well, it says in the Bible.
Until you treat me like crap, and then I'm done.
Well, I don't know if it doesn't necessarily say it in the Bible, but it does say that, be nice to each other. And And what that turns around. Oh yeah, it does. It literally says love each other. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean that love is always unicorns and rainbows.
Oh,
sometimes love is painful.
Love's painful. It's ugly at times.
Sometimes it is. Like, you ever seen a guy cry ugly? It's pretty bad.
Fuck, I've done it.
I cry ugly all the time.
It's pretty freeing, though.
Well, listen, I'll be honest with you, man. I've been, yes, that's right, Kenneth. I'm gonna put that up there. Bam, done. But you know, so I've been sober for 8.5 months.
Who y'all?
And I've done therapy. I've done therapy for probably the last 15 years.
I think I started in 08.
Yeah, that's about, well, I mean, I started therapy probably around 2000. I'm pretty sure I started therapy in 2003 when I came home drinking. I came home and I was working, actually it's 2004. I was working at the regiment with a bottle of Patron behind the seat of my Jeep and a flask in my cargo pocket. And coming in and starting my own IVs to sober up the next day. I get along great with people. I leave people alone. And if they can't leave me alone, I become sarcastically passive aggressive. Well, that in itself is exactly what we're talking about, Dean. But you know what? I get it.
Good job, Kenneth.
So, but so I started probably around 2004, like legit.
Good jump on it.
But well, yes and no, because they didn't know what the hell we were talking about. We didn't know what the hell.
It was pretty early.
We were still talking about, well, what are you just having dreams? What's your dreams like? Like I was more of a, when I came back from Fallujah, I was more of, I guess, was it test subject or something? What do they call it? Pilot program or some shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't we didn't know, we were working on all kinds of modules and trying to figure things out and see what works. And that's when they started throwing freaking Lexapro and, all that garbage at me and Ambien. And I'd wake up in the freaking floor of my freaking kitchen and 2-story house naked with a K-bar in my hand after passing both my children's rooms. And that is not okay.
Mm-hmm. I woke up on
right, Kenneth. I get it. Trust me, Kenneth. I know how it works, man.
I had a dream. This is after the first deployment. I'm waking up in the morning. I'm like, man, that was a hell of a dream. And I had dreamed that somebody broke into the house. It was a cow dream, wasn't it? Is the cow in the ran out chasing them with a shotgun in my underwear. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Now, this gun was in the safe. Yeah. So I'm thinking this is a dream, right? Until I get out of bed and walk into the kitchen and the shotgun's laying on top of the kitchen counter. Yeah. That was the last time I took Ambien. So, yeah. Well, before Afghanistan, anyways.
Kenneth, that was a zombie too. Kenneth, that was a zombie too. When it got worse, it only got worse because in around 2000, it was right around 2008 when I finally got diagnosed with traumatic brain injury and severe chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. They put me on 14 drugs a day.
Well, the biggest discussion I've had with people is about the timelines that you're on the medication. For example, Fexer XR, that's supposed to be a year, 18 months. And I remember 4 years. I was on it for, I think, 7.
4 years.
And coming off of that was the worst
painful experience
I've endured.
Oh, yeah.
It was horrible. And that's why this is right here. No more pills, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of things that are out there and available to you, whether it be medicinal or non-medicinal therapies, but
I've been pill free. I've been pill free since 2000. Where was I? 2014, 2013. I've been pill free since 2013.
Congrats.
Like I went back into the hospital in 2016 when I kind of lost. Like most people don't understand how hard it is to deal with popularity and fame. Like I'm not necessarily what you'd consider a household name yet, or have been, but I definitely had a lot of following, and that takes a toll on you.
Oh, absolutely.
And I went into the hospital again. They were like, hey, we're gonna put you back on freaking Ambien, Lexapro, blah 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 blah, and Lunesta, all this other stuff. And I was like, no, you're not. You can give me gabapentin for freaking the nerve in my neck, and I'm gonna do therapy. You can kiss my ass, because I'm not going back on the freaking zombie meds.
Yeah. Now I do want to caveat. There's a lot of good medication out there, and it does a lot of good for a lot of people.
As long as it's used properly.
If it's used properly. That's the thing, you know. Really,
Kenneth, you're awesome. Thank you for being a medic, man. Nobody likes you, especially me, because I'm a Navy corpsman, but I am a super huge fan of you being a 64 kilo. Medic or not. Because medics are dumber than corpsmen. Just kidding. That's how we talk to each other. Medics and corpsmen will always have that. There's always some sort of a balance of animosity between medics and corpsmen.
I believe it.
Now we're all made in the same damn school.
Are you?
Yeah. They make us all in the same damn school in San Antonio. It's weird.
I bet. Well, you know, it does make sense. The Air Force is kind of based there. They need y'all to be at our level.
What? Oh, listen, you guys are lucky enough to carry freaking toothpicks. I'm just saying.
Toothpicks.
I can't with you. This mother.
Can I flex and throw my
I can't with you. No, you can't. I mean, you can.
W1.
What is it? Hold on. At the end of the day, it's who can put it's in the bag faster. You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. I'm a huge fan. That's good. That's some good trash right there. Who can put the meds in the bag faster? That's literally who can get it inside the vein quicker. True story. True story. But anyway, we're about to.
I think I can't remember who taught me how to. We're doing like a mock combat lifesaver in Iraq. We didn't get to go through the full course, so a couple CLS guys came in and tried to teach us some stuff, and
I helped develop that shit.
See, like trying to do IVs on ourselves in a conference room in Iraq is kind of weird. Like most people would be like, when you squirt blood across the table, probably freak out. We were laughing our asses off.
Oh yeah. I helped build TCCC.
That's a good program.
Yeah, absolutely. What? One of those fancy Fort Bragg medics. Yeah, that's 18 Deltas are probably the most fancy medics you guys have, and I'm a huge fan of that school. But anyway, I digress. We've got like 4 minutes left, man. You want to talk about what you have any final thoughts today?
Oh man, final thoughts.
How about wrap up the whole week with some final thoughts?
Wrap up the whole week with some final thoughts. You know, I had a roller coaster of a week. I've seen a lot of good things, and I've seen a lot of bad things, but overall, the good outweighed the bad this week.
Yeah.
I think just, you know, trying to build that team in that group to support each other. You know, you don't know who it is. It could be the dude walking a dog in front of your house. Just be a little bit nicer. Take some time to get to know some folks. Have a little empathy. Try to do your part, not to ruin somebody's day.
I mean, unless you're a sociopath or a psychopath, and then you probably should just get shot in the face.
True, and pedophiles.
And pedophiles. I mean, I think they fall under the sociopathic and psychopathic umbrella.
It's definitely plausible.
Yeah.
But
that's all you got?
I think so, man. I'm gonna have a decent, relaxing weekend. Make some stuff around here. Work on some little table saw projects and maybe some pins. I know Jill wanted me to make somebody a breast cancer awareness pin.
Oh, that's cool.
Pink ones with little diamonds and stuff on them.
That's pretty awesome.
Probably play in the wood shop a little bit and just stay busy and have some family time. And
yeah. Well, I mean, that's awesome. I'm pretty much at home, home alone. Like what's his name? Macaulay Culkin. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm home alone like Macaulay Culkin. It's weird.
So are you going to set up like some stuff for Chris when she comes home that'll like fall from the door, cover in confetti or something like some Home Alone stuff?
Probably not. Probably not.
Probably would not be very well received, right?
No, I don't want my soul punched in.
Yeah, I believe that. She does keep a good rein on you. It's like mine.
I love her, but she will punch me in the soul. So if I could wrap up the whole week, I think I would probably caveat a lot of what you said. Just be nice, because at the end of the day, if you want people to be nice at you or to you, you can't expect them to be nice and not be nice to them.
Absolutely.
But on the other side of that coin, what I will tell you is that you can't expect everybody to be nice to you all the time. So you have to be prepared for that as well.
True.
And you kind of have to take everyone that you meet with a grain of salt. Let me use my I pronouns, because my I pronouns, and somebody said something. Will do, Kenneth. Absolutely. Somebody said something about like freaking like the whole they, them, their pronouns. I use they, them, their pronouns. I don't know if you know this or not, but they, them, and their are a group of people, and you're one individual. So you're either a him, a her, or an it. Choose one. Like, it's not a they, them, or theirs.
Ben Shapiro, facts don't care about your feelings.
True story. True story. So, but anyway, I digress. So if you want somebody, if you really honestly want somebody to be nice to you, to be nice to them. And if they're not nice to you back, then you can tell them to kiss your ass. But for the most part, you have to initiate it. Yep. Because if you don't, you're only going to get what you give out. And for me, like, I'm going to try to be as nice as I possibly can for as many people as I possibly can. And at the end of the day, I just want to do what Jesus Christ tells me to do every day. And I struggle with that. I struggle with that on so many levels. Like, you know, I should get up and go do something. I should go blah, 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 blah. Don't say the F word. That's a tough one for me. Promise.
And my wife constantly tells me I need a swear jar. I'm like, you are right.
I probably should too. Dean says, you understand that you should be nice to everyone you meet, because they could be dealing with shit that you know nothing about, and you might just get an ass whipping that wasn't even meant for you. He's
Absolutely.
Not wrong. It couldn't have been said better. Or you don't know. Let's talk about this bigger picture, and we got to roll out of here. But bigger picture. You never know what somebody's dealing with. You could be literally the one that pushes them over the edge. So be careful. And with that being said, we're going to close this out with Not Alone. And it's just simply about not fighting your demons by yourself. You don't have to fight your demons by yourself. There's a number down here at the bottom of the screen, generally, throughout the entire show. It's usually the Veterans Hotline. It's not down there now because he's telling me about my freaking music page. There it is, the Veterans Crisis Line. And I'll tell you that they actually care. And there's somebody there saved my life once. You too, Dean. Have a great weekend. But this song coming up is called Not Alone. And every dime from this song literally goes to an organization to save lives.
If you're having a tough time, pull it up. Listen to it. If you don't feel something, reach out. You're going to feel something when you listen to that song.
With that being said, God bless. Good night. Have a great weekend. Have a great week next week, and we'll see you next Friday. Hopefully, we'll have the whole family on here.
Absolutely. Take care.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
He sits on his bed with his gun in his hand. He thinks his life is over, he can't understand. A bottle of whiskey and some pills in the drawer. He doesn't want to hurt himself or hurt anymore. Why must it be this way? Just think it all over and listen to the words I say. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, brother, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. She picks up the clothes that fall loose on the floor. She finds a crumpled letter just behind the door. Begins to read it with tears in her eyes. A horrible feeling takes over inside. Says, honey, can I talk to you? There has to be something that we can do. You are not alone. There are so many people who fight with their demons each day. 'Cause you are not alone. So take my hand, baby, let's beat this together today. You're not alone. Ooh, you're not alone. 'Cause you are not alone. There are millions of people who fight with their demons each day. Yeah, yeah. And you are not puts it away, 'cause now he understands.